Okay, well, I don't know whether I'm on or not. It's just damn computers. Just don't know how much longer I'm able to do this kind of stuff. Okay, Mad Props. Thank you. Recovery drone. Good morning. Yeah, I know it threw everybody off. I went down to catch a ship and it was like going slower than slow. I sat down there, sat down there, sat down there, sat down there, and finally it showed up.
Yep.
My apologize to everybody for throwing everything off by 40 minutes or so. Okay, well, I don't know whether I'm on or not. It's just I hope everybody can hear me all right. And
Yeah, you're on, Paul.
marinetraffic.com is the app I use that it shows you every ship in the world and you zoom into whatever area you want to look at. Just a minute, I got to check on Boone. Owner. Oh.
Good morning, all.
Morning, Lance.
Did Paul sleep in?
He's just gone out to check Boone.
Yeah, because I checked about 5 minutes ago and he was not on.
Yeah, no, he was late because he was out flying a ship.
Gotcha.
Hey, Lance, how you doing?
Hey, Paul, how are you doing, bud?
Well, I went down to catch a ship and it took forever to get there.
Oh. But you finally got it, I hope.
Yes, I did. I did.
How many ships do you think you've taken? 200, 1,000? 4,000. Wow. And of those 4,000, how many times do you think you've got the same boat? We'll say 10 times.
The vast majority of them, yes, because
Okay.
the only ones that I think I've gotten most of the salties too over the years.
Yeah.
But the local ones, the ones in the Great Lakes, I get them over and over and over again.
You bet, yeah, because they probably.
What changes is the weather, the lighting, all that kind of stuff, the time of day.
Yep, exactly. What's the website to find the boat traffic?
Marinetraffic.com. It shows you every ship in the world. It's a free app. I think it starts you out over in Europe, and you just scroll over until you get to the continental U.S., and then you pinch in until you get to wherever you want to be.
Okay, cool.
When you look at it,
it shows you all the ships in the world, and a different color ship means it's a different kind of ship, and you can tap on whatever ship you're looking at, and it'll tell you the name and the destination and the speed.
Okay.
he's got over 7,000 videos on his channel.
I want to find. Gosh, there's a ton of them, aren't there?
1.68 million views.
Did you find it, Lance?
I did, yeah. I want to see. Let's see when the next cruise liner leaves Seattle. Will it tell us?
It might. I don't track when they're leaving.
Okay.
But if they're in port, it'll just be a solid dot. If they're moving, it'll be a ship.
Gotcha. Okay.
But you still can tap on one of those ships, and it'll give you the information. It'll show you a picture of it and the information. And then if you tap on the picture, it'll give you a whole myriad of pictures of that ship.
Okay. So it looks like our cruise liner is left port. It's no longer there. Okay.
And cruise boats are like blue, I think they are.
Okay.
The tankers are red and the green ones are cargo vessels.
Okay. What are purple?
Don't know.
Pleasure craft. They're pleasure craft. So they're just small, home-owned
Yeah,
dinghy
yacht.
boats.
So where are you looking in Seattle?
Yeah. And I'm looking, Seattle Marriott waterfront is right where all the purple ones are. When you zoom into Pier 62 and just go slightly north.
That must be a marina then.
It's kind of a little rink-a-dink marina. That's where the cruise ship docks right there as well.
Mm.
You'll see the dock there, the long dock.
And you can change what you're looking at. You can change the satellite picture, or you can just change the white picture.
Oh, okay. How do you get to the satellite? Let's see.
Up where it says the top of the squares on the right hand side.
Yeah.
It goes to map type, light map, dark map, satellite map.
Okay. Gotcha. Oh yeah, I like satellite better, I think.
To show you a major power outage has hit parts of Spain and Portugal.
The cruise ship was there last night, so it must have left. Well, it's not 8 o'clock. You would think it would be about 8.
And the Madrid Open, our correspondent John Ray is here. Early stages. What more can you tell us right now?
As you say, Nina, the full extent of this really is still becoming clear. Obviously, communications are difficult, but large swathes of Spain and
Well, that should keep you busy, kind of tracking ships.
Oh yeah.
If
Yeah,
you go over and you look at the Caribbean, you'll see all the cruise ships there.
Oh yeah. You got a couple tugboats behind you, Paul.
Yep. Tug and barge.
Oh
It's-
yeah, he's
It's
pushing
it's gonna go do some dredging someplace.
Yep.
Hey, TJ, Jim,
I'm TJ, Jim, Dusty.
Brenda.
Morning, TJ, Dustin, Jim, Brenda.
Yeah, sorry for being so late this morning, but I went to get a ship and I thought I'd get it in before, and it was just crawling. Didn't get there till, after like 9:15. By the time I shot it and got back here, I got back here about 9:35.
Hey, Mad Props, are you still here? Are you still here?
Ed, can you hear me?
Who, you?
Lance, can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Is Mad Props still? I have a question for Mad Props. I don't know if he's still here or not.
Randy.
Mad Props is on Dre GM. I don't know what.
GM means good morning.
Oh, Giggle says Justin's probably still on the bus. Not back yet.
Our end right now. Doesn't look like Mad Props is here.
Here's the ship I did this morning. Can you guys see that all right?
Uh-huh.
It's the Olive Elm Moor.
And is the lighter water real shallow there?
No, well, that's shoreline sand coming down with it because you got to remember there's a current there.
Yeah.
It is obviously deeper in the channel.
Yeah, Randy, it's marinetraffic.com. And it has an app on the phone as well.
Yeah, it's really nice. That's a great app to have because no matter where you are when you're traveling or whatever, and you want to see what the ships are around you, just pull that up and just zoom into whatever you want to. It starts out, I think, over in Europe, but yes, you just pinch and zoom and whatever, you know.
It covers the whole world.
Yep. When you back out, you look at the whole thing. It's like, oh my God, you didn't know there was that many ships out there. Thousands and thousands and thousands of them. Okay, here's the interesting thing that happened here. It just stopped and it wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't back up. I don't know the reason why, but it wouldn't continue to back up to allow me. Normally, in this time I go around that side of the ship and then exit up here and get a shot of it going away.
And that's not a naval vessel, is it?
No.
No, because I was thinking maybe the drone figured out it was a naval vessel and stopped to lock you up, but wonder why. And where are you right now?
Huh?
Where are you? Are you over there to the left? Where are you?
To the left over on the shore.
Move your mouse over there and show me.
Well, as soon as it gets by, I'll be right.
Right out there?
Right there.
Okay.
That's my car right there.
Okay. Because you're not far from it.
No, it isn't. It isn't lost the signal. There's something wrong.
And have you flown? Did you try to refly it without a ship there? See if you could go any further?
Yeah, because I flew it yesterday and got 2 ships.
Did you get around it yesterday?
Yes.
Okay. And how many times is it locked up on you right there?
This is the first time.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, you got control back again, didn't you?
Yes.
You recall what your controller said?
No, it didn't say anything. It just wouldn't, the sticks didn't work.
Okay. Which controller were you using?
The
RC.
controller, the smart controller 1, not the 2.
Well, evidently it wasn't smart enough.
It was the RC, Lance.
Yeah, it's the cheap one. It's the RC, and I don't. That's a good question. I'm gonna go get it and see what the settings are on it. Because that's what my problem was when I couldn't get it to work before, is the settings changed, and I didn't change any settings, so
He'd managed somehow to disable sideways flight.
but as you could see, when I went around the back of the ship, I was doing sideways flight.
Mm.
I guess I got to turn the damn drone on. Won't let me go to settings on its own.
Oh yeah, it stores the settings on the drone rather than on the remote. So that each drone that you connect to it can have different settings.
Well, under safety, the setting that was turned on was called disable sideways flight. When enabled, moving the control stick will not take the aircraft left or right,
There you go.
but it's not turned on.
Oh,
Altitude, calibrate. I just calibrated everything. Imperial standard, display zoom standard. Subject scanning was not turned on. Gain and expo tuning is fine tunes gain and expo settings. No. Gimbal is on follow mode. Allow upward gimbal rotation is on. Gimbal calibration. Stick mode, mode 2. Button customization. That's for like adding zoom and that kind of stuff with your buttons. So I don't know. But it did it. And when it does that, it doesn't make me feel all that good about it. So, scratch my head again, you know?
Light aircraft flying overhead.
I got the chat back up now. Okay. Well, we don't have a lot of people here, do we?
Well, Joe was going to go flying with Nick this morning, wasn't he?
That's what he said. His son was coming by. Yep.
Yeah. Though it might be a bit early for that yet.
Hard to say.
But what? It's 9 a.m. for. What's that plane doing? We've got a light aircraft that keeps on flying around. Back again. Round in circles.
Uh, oh man,
Justin.
going on?
I don't know where it is.
I was gonna come on earlier, but Paul didn't get on till. So I
No.
went lay down for a minute.
Yeah, Paul was late.
Yeah, so I went and ate some breakfast and was laying down in the bed.
How's the bus riding doing?
Same as every day.
Do you ever have any children that are a handful?
No, not really. At least not by my standards. A bus driver gets a little pissy sometimes. He's just old and cranky.
Now you got your regular kids back, your regular bus driver now, right?
Yeah, the kids don't really like him because he's just really cranky. Like every little noise pisses him off. He just gets a little too worked up over stupid shit. I don't care if the kids are laughing a little louder. No, they're on the bus going home, so it doesn't bother me. But he gets mad if they like laughing or anything like that. He's not a kid person is a
Too
problem.
much yickety yakking.
No, he's just not a kid person. He doesn't have patience for kids. Like I understand when the kids are sitting there talking and they're giggling and laughing, as long as they're not causing any problems. I don't give a crap what they're doing.
Mm.
I don't care if they're laughing and talking a little loud. Don't bother me any.
So the bus driver can be a little cranky then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The kids don't like him at all. To the
Okay, Jim, I'll keep an eye on that. Thanks for the thought.
I just saw a mouse run across the damn fence in the backyard. The first time I've ever seen a mouse.
I got chipmunks here. Chip and Dale.
To be honest, that's the first mouse I've seen since I've lived in Florida. And he's just running across the damn fence, top of the fence, the backyard.
Well, the word's out. If you're hungry and you're a mouse, you need to go to Justin's house.
Nah.
You love them Mises to pieces. What do you feed your mice, Justin?
I don't feed them anything. Fucking poison. Catch them in the house. That's what they're gonna get. Fucking put up with mice.
$50 a bag.
I would imagine you got probably a feed store down there. You could ask them what you should get for feeding your mice.
No, mice are the worst fucking thing to feed, man. They breed like fucking oh.
You know what the saying is, Justin? When you see one mice, there are 10.
If you see one, there's 10. Yep, that's right.
Probably running along the fence line because you don't want to be on the ground because too much shit on the ground to eat them.
Well, yeah, like cats in the neighborhood and all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they don't like that.
Snakes, all kinds of shit. Yeah, because we got snakes in our yard. I see them every once in a while. I don't bother them. They're just little.
Those sneaky snakes.
The only ones I've ever seen around here, those black ones. I've never seen any other. Never run across another snake. And I always see them every once in a while too. It's not like all the time. The one thing you see a lot is fucking lizards. They are everywhere. So Joe's going flying with the sun, huh?
Well, that's what I said he was going to be doing.
I don't know if his son could, huh? I guess he could own a drone, but I don't even know if they found out you had that on base, they might flip the fuck out. I don't know if you'd want to take one of those on the base, even if you weren't flying it. I definitely wouldn't turn it on at all while it was on base. That's for damn sure. I don't know what the fuck kind of shit they got on base that
Yeah.
would pick that up. Because even if you just turned it on in your house, if it registered that it was on the base and the remote ID, yeah, that would probably not be a good thing.
Yep. Who's on first, right? What was that famous Lance? That
What?
was it the Three Stooges or who, somebody says first? Who's on first or
Abbott and Costello.
Abbott and Costello? Okay. Thank you, Mark. I knew somebody would know. I used to know, but the mind isn't in place anymore. I think I went to sleep one night and somebody came and did a lobotomy, like an alien or something, you know. And you know, the other thing that bugs the hell out of me is all these damn pop-ups that keep coming on my screen for popsicles and all kinds of stuff.
Mhm.
Oh no, TJ, I'm not feeding those fucking mice. So that's the first one I've seen. Came from the neighbor's backyard.
Is that is Giggle says you're feeding them cheese? Is that right?
I don't know. I wouldn't be wasting no good cheese on mice.
Actually,
Jim?
the best, pretty much the best bait for catching mice is peanut butter.
Well, look at there. There's a log being towed off the river.
A big ass log. Is that a boat pulling it that's struggling?
Yep.
Yeah, you can see the water just doesn't look like the boat's moving very quick. Looks like the whole front end's in the air. Yeah, pulling it to the Canadian side and dropping
Yep.
it.
Well, yeah, the Canadian want the wood, you know.
So it's just, is it just clearing it out of the channel then?
Yep.
I don't know, driftwood sometimes can actually be worth some money. I don't know what kind it is and everything.
Giggle says lizards turn into iguanas. Is that true? I don't know.
No.
They're their own lizard.
I thought I thought they were different, the same, maybe a species, but they're different.
Yeah, they're just a type of lizard.
They're fucking huge. They get big as fuck too. Yeah, watch them because they'll whip their tails at you.
They're gonna whip your ass, right?
That's what they like to do. They like to whip their tails. They use them as whips. But they're actually illegal to own in Florida. You're supposed to kill them if you see them. There's a lot of them that got turned loose in Florida. Like a lot of other animals. People get them and then you can't take care of them. So they, instead of finding a zoo or somebody to take them, they just fucking dump them out in their backyard and let them go.
Well, what is it that they have a lot of problems with being dumped like into the Everglades and that?
So, all kinds of animals. There's a lot of exotic lizards, snakes. There's one lizard that I can't remember the name of it, but it's mean as fuck, and it'll actually chase you. And it's pretty good size. They get pretty big, like iguanas. I watched a couple of animal control guys on TV one day, and they had one cornered in the backyard, and that bitch was hissing at him and everything. And it was coming after him.
Sounds a bit like a Komodo dragon.
Hey, Paul.
Oh no, not that
Yeah, yeah.
size.
Hey, Hey, do you mind if I do
This thing was probably a foot
Yeah,
and a
not a
half,
problem. Come down and see Boone. He'd be
Yeah.
glad to see you.
Oh
but it
yeah,
had-
I'll make sure that my stomach feels okay for that one.
Okay.
but yeah,
Okay.
hit it.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I think the main problem is you get a lot of people from like a lot of islands down south of like south of Florida, like Cuba and different places like that. And they bring or smuggle in the animals that they were used to being around. Because you got a lot of different like island type cultures down here. But then, like I said, they end up getting loose or they let them go. And there's like people that live in the middle of the city and they'll get caught with a fucking alligator in their bathtub. Like, what are you planning on doing with it? Like, eventually, that thing's gonna outgrow a fucking bathtub, and you're living in an apartment like that guy that just got busted recently. Was living in an apartment, had a damn gator in his bathtub.
You see, they pulled a raid on an illegal nightclub that's run by the gangs, and
I
they
didn't see
arrested
the
over
gang.
100 illegal immigrants there.
I didn't hear anything about it being related to gangs, but I did see the video of it. They all came running out the front of the
Yep.
clubs, tried to take off running. Then there was like 100 agents outside waiting for him. Started rounding them all up. There was over 200 people in the club, but 100 of them got arrested. They found drugs and a bunch of guns and stuff in there. But if it was an illegal nightclub, that could have just been a bunch of people that had drugs and guns on
And
there.
they had a bunch of prostitutes. And when you went in the door, they said they handed out menus of what kind of drugs you wanted and where to go get it.
I don't know. I didn't see all that part. I know they did say it was an illegal club gathering, though.
And they had prostitutes working there too. See, they're showing them on the TV right now, the prostitutes.
Yeah, they had everybody there too. There was ICE, ATF. I even saw a postal inspector. I don't know what the fuck he was doing there, but yeah, they had like every alphabet agency was fucking there. I couldn't believe it.
It was getting some overtime.
Because they were walking down, the news camera was walking down the lines, and I saw damn near every agency. I saw the FBI, ATF, the postal inspector was there. Who else was it? ICE was there. Yeah, it was a whole bunch of agencies. I was like, Jesus. And then the local police were there too, because they said they did have local help on that raid.
Well, they just said on the news now that there were 17 active military people that were working security at the door.
They're gonna
They're going to be in trouble.
What's ICE?
That's the federal immigration.
Immigration, custom.
No, it's immigration customs
Who's an
enforcement.
excise?
Yeah, it's immigration customs enforcement.
All right.
Show up in front of a Home Depot with one of those jackets on, you'll see
Say
a
hi,
bunch of
Boner.
people running.
Say hi. Hi, Boner. Yeah. Boner wants to say hi to everybody. I say hi, Boner.
Oh, and Border Patrol was there too. Yeah, I saw Border Patrol agents were there too. There was like
me
5
get
or 6
you. Let me get
agencies
you
that
eyes.
I saw
Get
just
you eyes.
in the 30 seconds they pan the camera down the line. But I was real curious why the postal inspector was there of all people. It said a postal inspector agent or agent inspector or something like that. I was like, what the fuck are they doing there? Somebody stole somebody's birthday card out of the mail.
Well, if it's big on drugs going on there, a lot of it could be being shipped in by the post office.
That's true too. Yeah, I didn't think about that,
You
but it
know.
was just funny that the of all of them that was who was there. Yeah, I just couldn't believe how many agencies were involved in that.
I came to the party late. What are you talking about?
That
Yeah.
club that got busted last night. They
The
arrested
the
100
bust
people.
they did last night in a nightclub raid, over 100 plus illegal immigrants caught with drugs, prostitution, and all kinds of stuff.
It was an illegal nightclub that didn't have any business license or anything.
What city?
I'm waiting for it to show it, but
Oh, I know what he covers, Dre. It was just funny that was one of the people that was there.
What state?
Hold on a sec. I'll find out.
I'm looking on CNN. It doesn't
I can't
show.
remember. It was Colorado Springs.
Colorado Springs, yep.
Oh, and the DEA was there too. Yeah. There was like 6 or 7 agencies.
Well,
that
yeah.
were there. I was trying to remember all of them because there were so many of them. Because they all had their own jackets on, so you could tell who was who. But they all came running out of the damn club like cockroaches, like just they're.
Oh yeah. Well, did you
they-
see? Did
the
you
front-
see the beginning of it, Justin? They went up with a sledgehammer and smashed the front window, and that's when everybody just got out of there.
Yeah, they all started running out, but the problem was there was already like 100 and some agents outside.
Yeah, it was like
And
like cockroaches leaving.
And they just created like this wall, and were pointing guns at them, and they all just started getting down. All of them stopped running once all them agents started pointing guns and shit at them. Told them to get down on the ground. Yeah, DEA's drug enforcement. I don't know. I think they could take some of these agencies and combine them. I don't know why we need so many damn. I think there's like 16 intelligence agencies. It's like,
Yeah.
I think we could combine them down to like 4 or 5.
What gets me is why they put alcohol and firearms together.
Well, that's the thing is like you got alcohol and firearms. Why not put the DEA with the ATF and combine it, and they can do all 3 of those? Like, I just don't see the point in having 16 intelligence agencies. Like, you don't have to fire these people. Just combine some of the agencies.
Change them over, yeah.
Yeah, he could save some more money then because he could get rid of some of the heads.
Well, not only that, it's easier to oversee 4 or 5 agencies than it is 16. The only one you really couldn't combine, I guess, anything with maybe the CIA because they're not technically supposed to operate domestically.
No.
But most of the other agencies, they all operate domestically and internationally. But yeah, there's some agencies I could see that I would say would be better off if they were just combined down to 4 or 5. There might even be more than 16. I think the count was 16 altogether.
Well, I don't know why they've got the immigration separate to the border control.
Oh, Border Patrol, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could have all of them in the same agency, just different divisions that do different jobs.
Your little buddy's gonna come and see you.
I'll boom that.
Oh, no, never mind. It's not 16, it's 18. They have 18 altogether. Who's that?
boy, oh boy.
I think it's Paul's tenant.
Yeah, that's what it is.
You're crazy today. Definitely not.
Trey
bad-
said ATF came out in the years of prohibition and bootleggers,
Definitely
along with mob activity with cigarette smuggling and guns.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the ATF and the
Yeah, so-
DEA, those two I could see combining. Like there's some agencies that do very close to the same work, but they're just different. And it's like you think they would just combine them together. Because it could be the ATFD, alcohol, tobacco, firearms, and drugs.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense. Just to go ahead and add that one other thing in there with it.
They could change it round and be drugs, alcohol, firearms, and tobacco. Then they could be called daft.
Yeah, daft. There you go. The ATF came out of the Treasury Department. And you think firearms, like honestly, if you're thinking of these agencies, right? Alcohol and tobacco, yeah, that sounds like that would be one thing an agency would deal with. And then you think drugs and guns would be more related to each other. So, you know, I don't know. You think the DEA would be doing guns and drugs, and then you'd have alcohol and tobacco on their own thing. It's just weird they kind of threw firearms in there with it.
Yeah, if they put firearms with a drugs agency, they could become deaf.
Well, the main problem was having that many agencies, especially like pre 9/11, right? Was none of them were talking to each other. They were all hoarding their own intelligence on whatever they were looking into, you know. And that was a major problem before 9/11 because there was actually some agencies that had information that was hinting towards it, but they weren't telling each other. They were all just, one would ask another one, "Do you know do you have information on this?" No, 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 we don't know nothing. They didn't want to tell them anything. Everybody wanted to hoard their own information. That was, I think, the whole reason they started the Department of Homeland Security, because I think they oversee pretty much everybody, and they're supposed to share information now and everything.
Except they don't.
I don't know how well that. I mean, none of us really know how well that works behind the scenes, to be honest. And I could be wrong, but I think my understanding of the Department of Homeland Security is I think they can go pretty much into any agency and just pull whatever information they want and kind of all combine it. That was my understanding of what their role was. They were supposed to be like the overseer of all of them.
It gets me how every cop program you watch on telly, the FBI just do not cooperate very well with the enforcement agencies.
The ATF was created. Alcohol was an illegal drug. Yeah, that's what Dre was saying. Yeah. DA was formed after the war on drugs during the Nixon administration. That's what I'm saying, though. This is a problem. Is instead of just refitting or fixing an agency that we already have, they just keep adding on more. Instead of trying to like revamp and redo and kind of make the ones we already have better, they just add another agency for something else. That's why our fucking government's so big these days. The government's ridiculously huge. Well, I was watching if any of you guys are interested, Joe Rogan did a podcast a couple days ago with two experts in the field of AI. It was really interesting. It's about 2.5 hours long if you want to go watch it. Those guys had some really good knowledge on that whole field with China and all that stuff. Let me see. I'll pull up the episode and put the link in the chat if anybody wants to watch the full. That was. This is it. Where is the full episode? Oh, here we go. Hey, Donald, you might like that episode. Those guys were really interesting on there. Like I said, they're both experts in the field. AI worries me. I already feel useless. Later, Jim. Yeah, true. Yeah, but then there could be jobs created that we haven't thought of, you know? I don't know. That was a good point somebody brought up when we were talking about it one day. You know, there could be a lot of jobs that are created that we're just not thinking about right at the moment because they're not there yet.
Yep. I had a job for 12 years that did not exist when I started teaching.
There was nothing wrong with the controller, Jody. It was just he somehow turned off the setting in the drone menu that allowed his drone to go sideways either direction. My guess, this is my theory, either he actually was messing with the menu or with the settings, or when he was outside and it was raining and he kept wiping the screen off. We all know how screens act when they get wet, touch screens. It's possible he went into a menu and turned something off when he was cleaning it. I don't know. But it seems to be working now. So
Let you in, Dom.
what's up, Donald?
Hey, yeah, AI sucks. I've noticed the new shorts thing is an AI somebody creating an image of a young busty girl playing guitar and lip syncing to this song. And it's like people, oh, she's so beautiful. It's like, dude,
Not
can
real.
you tell her hands aren't really even moving right on the guitar? It's like it's AI. But there's so many people who can't tell the difference between AI and what's real. It's just going to get worse.
Well, and these two guys were talking. They said it's hit a little bit of a plateau, but they're at a point now where it's doubling about every 4 months. Is their
Yes.
estimation on it.
It
was every
I was
couple
watching a
of
video.
months,
We're already
slowed
getting to a
down a
point
little.
where history is going to be rewritten. People are AI is taking pictures, like historic pictures, and recreating them for whatever reason, almost identical to the original picture, but just recreating it and uploading to the internet. And people are thinking, oh, this is the original one that I remember. This is the original picture, like say from World War II or from Vietnam. I remember this picture, but it's not the right picture. It's a different picture.
Well, and this is the problem too, is they're coming out with systems that can detect AI photos and videos, but at the same time, then there's going to be people that figure out how to bypass that. And then it's going to be a back and forth constantly, you know, because especially like if schools are trying to implement a program that can detect it.
Well, once we get to the point where we don't, if we don't know what is real, if we can't tell what historic picture is real, then we really have no, I guess, protection
Yeah, the problem
from
is
AI.
that-
Because once we don't know our history, I think we're already in that point, though, is a lot of people don't know their history.
well, the problem is too, is a lot of countries are putting a lot of money into AI right now, but none of them are putting any legislation in.
Well,
to
let's just
try to
say
control it.
a modern conflict that we all know about, the Ukraine Russian conflict going on right now.
Right.
Just
How
wait.
can we here, wanting to support either side, how can we trust any of the images coming out of there, because we don't know what is real? We can't tell what's real. And as AI gets better and better at creating these fake images,
Yeah, somebody
we
sooner
won't.
or later,
We're in a post-reality world, is what I'm saying. It just freaks me out.
somebody sooner or later is going to do an AI picture of Trump crossing the Delaware.
Oh, I guarantee somebody's already done it.
But yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying is like they're investing a lot of money into AI, but you're not seeing any legislation being put in as far as controlling it from,
Mm-hmm.
you know, because if there's no rules on it, there's going to be
Well,
a
that
lot
is
of
one
people.
thing. If you look at Trump's energy policies, he is right. If you look at China's energy production, they are producing energy that is going to be, AI is not free. It takes energy to run these AI farms and stuff. And the growth of AI is going to tap out. We will hit a plateau on our energy production first,
Well,
I
well,
think.
that matter of fact, the guy in that talked to Joe Rogan was talking about that. He said an average data center right now where they're running models for AI use
Mhm.
about 1 gigawatt of power, which is 1 million homes
Yep.
being powered. And he said within the next, he said by 2027, we'll be using about 5% of the power grid just for AI.
Right. But we will plateau because people aren't going to be giving up their power. They want their power. So we're not going to be giving up for the AI. So if we don't get on some sort of energy production, say nuclear, and nuclear has a bad reputation, but it's the cleanest energy we have right now with modern reactors.
Well, and they said that he was talking about that as well. And he said the newer nuclear reactors are extremely safe and have a really low probability of ever having a meltdown.
Oh, they were talking about that
anymore.
too?
Yeah, they talked
See,
about
why should I
nuclear
watch it?
power.
I already read this stuff, and it freaks me out. I already. But yeah, we need to, if we want to stay ahead of the AI game, we need to be producing more power. We're putting plans in place to produce more power, because we still have enough power right now to compete, but we're going to cap out at a certain point.
Well, that's the thing, Jody,
For
is
China is building nuclear plants like crazy.
well, that's the thing too, Jody, is the people, those photos they're going to get harder and harder to just be able to eyeball and tell whether it's fake or not. Yeah, some of them you can right now. But
Oh
it's
yeah,
gonna
like
get to the point
especially
where
video,
you
you can tell video real easy. But there are like these old World War II photos that I've seen. You look and you're like, oh yeah, I remember. You have a picture of the guys that it's a real picture. I remember seeing it in a history book of guys sitting around at a table with their drinks toasting, and they all look just shell shocked, just kind of like they're
battered
sitting
and
there in the middle
whatnot.
of this thing, and they're just kind of. But there's an AI version of that same picture going around where the guys are smiling. Why? I don't know, but it is that small little change that we're going to remember history differently because people will think that's the real photo.
And like these guys were even showing accounts that were bot accounts, but they had full family AI photos and everything, and you couldn't tell that they weren't real photos. You would have thought it was an actual family. Like,
Yeah, like they recreate a picture of the Boston Tea Party, and all the crates will say Lipton's.
Well, that would be a great advertisement, but
but you remember how like the AI like a year ago when you would do a picture of somebody and it would give them like 6 fingers instead of 5?
oh yeah,
Like it's now to the point where that's not a thing anymore. It's
no,
learned
you can
that.
still see on video where hands, the AI doesn't really understand how hands work, so you can watch hands on videos, and they if it's an AI generated video, they get kind of wonky.
And the one thing he was talking about, he was like, okay, he goes, there's a difference between regular AI and what we call super intelligence. He said the
Yes,
regular
AG.
AI is going to be like just as smart as any average person. He goes, but that super intelligence that they're working on, he said, it's pretty much like you're trying to control it, but you're a toddler and they're a grown up. Like that's the difference in the
Well,
level
we're
of
not even
thinking.
there yet because you're talking about
Well,
getting
they're
to
he's estimating 2027, the two experts that were on there. They said by 2027, most
maybe, but
likely.
that implies sentience, and we haven't gotten there yet. Right now, it's great at crunching numbers and these what are they, the language models. They're good at mashing things up and kind of getting things combined, but as far as original thought, we're not there.
Oh
At
no, he
least
said.
that I know of.
Well, they said we're not there yet, but these two experts are estimating that they said it would most likely be before 2030.
Yeah, what do they
They're
call that?
thinking,
Is that AGI or AGF or something like that?
yeah, and yeah, it was really interesting though the
But
stuff they were
and they
talking
say
about.
that once it hits that plateau where it can actually do what we call thinking, then it will be exponential growth because it will be able to improve its own algorithms, its own learning algorithms,
Yeah, and then
and it can do A/B testing on itself.
and
And
then
it's like,
that's where they were saying the scary part is because they said, imagine a toddler trying to control you,
mhm,
and they were referring to us as being the toddlers.
yeah.
That's
And
what we get to Skynet, isn't it?
But then again, imagine a toddler trying to control you, but the toddler has the switch to your power. So it's not going to be a open conflict. It'll be more subtle than that. I think that AI, if it becomes sentient, I believe it'll be a subversive. It'll be more of a political type of control. So
try.
yeah, it'll have its own security forces who will protect its power. It will subvert any news that we get, change any. It'll basically mold our opinions, which I think it already does a lot. I just want to find a cave and go live in it.
Yeah, we're going to end up with war games.
Shall we play a game?
Hmm.
Didn't they remake that movie or?
Yeah, they made a version of it. It was a very Canadian feeling. Like remember all the CW TV shows and stuff that They'd come out with
Oh,
these things.
yeah.
They feel for some reason, feel Canadian. That I watched that movie and it was not good at all.
Oh yeah. I actually seen this movie. I'm looking at it now. Yeah, it was kind of under budget feeling.
Oh, it was really low budget.
Yeah. I watched this one. I remember it now. It was.
Yeah, I hate watched it. And I don't know why I hated it because it's like I'm watching it like this is stupid. This is stupid. But if you go back and watch War Games, yeah, it was a stupid concept. But we let stupid concepts go, I guess, if we're young. Here comes Dre to tell us where we're all wrong about AI.
Got a line one. Hi, Posture. Hi, everybody else.
So,
Oh, that's
what's up,
Don't be
Derek?
hiding on
David?
screen now, Don, that I showed up.
Maybe Dusty. I don't know. I'll have to see.
Well, and if you think about that, better and better the stuff gets, and it's training off of what we have created.
When you say we,
I mean,
we're talking about the likes
He's talking
of
about the French.
Justin.
I'm talking about humanity.
He's talking about the French. We, yes.
Every bit of AI art that is being created is modeled after something we have created. Stuff that we have created goes through that model.
Right.
So it's not creating anything. It's just doing mashups. But it's doing it so well that, the job that I did for 20 some odd years, local advertising, is going to be gone. Those videographers that would go out and shoot these things and product shots and stuff. No, we'll just go ahead and have the computer do it. Here's our dimensions. Go ahead and use this label and put this in this type of setting, and it'll do it.
Well, if any company is going to say if they can save money and make more money, they'll cut jobs for sure.
Yeah.
If they can have one guy sitting on a computer doing that all day, telling it what to do, what it needs done,
Hey,
versus
Frank.
having a photographer, an editor, a whole team of people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hiring actors.
Yeah.
So what happens to those people who built their careers developing a certain skill set that will be gone? Editing. Editing there's a very human element to editing, but an AI will be able to go through and do the first initial cut and have most of something done and let a human come in and finish it until it learns how to do that too. But I'm just thinking about this from my career.
I don't know what your plan be.
It going away. And so, but this is going with people across the board. Accountants. How many accountants' jobs are going to be out the window? Anything having to do with technology that the AI can take over, it's going to be gone. And you're going to have all these people who their entire life or their entire career is going to basically mean nothing. And people are going to feel pointless. They're going
to become verifiers. Because as good as computers are, yeah,
yep,
especially with accounts, as good as computers are, and AI will become. Yeah,
instead of 100 people,
always
you'll have
be
one
somebody.
verifier.
Yeah, there'll be somebody that's corrupt that will change the AI to them.
So you'll have one person that becomes a verifier, and the other 99, their jobs will go away, and they will feel left behind. They're going to feel useless. They're going to feel abandoned.
I get
by
that.
The world
I get that, Donald. But I've helped you today by telling you what you need to aim your goal at now. Get in there first. Become the first verifier. Fucked a lot of them.
Oh, no, that job will go to the best people, and I know I'm not the best person.
No, it will not go to the best. I'm sorry. No. I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that's going to the best person, right? Have you seen Copilot? Right? Have you seen Microsoft's AI? Right? I don't know what they're testing it on, but it ain't anyone that's best at the job.
Yeah, but that's just one of like thousands of AIs being worked on right now.
There's not, to be honest, there's not that many AIs out there. Yeah, that people that you would understand. You'll see many websites,
okay,
thousands of
but
websites,
David,
but they're all based on like four or five different AIs.
I will go back to the industry I know. To become an editor, not my type of editor, but if you're wanting to become like a professional editor, normally you would become an assistant editor. You basically, your job would be ingesting footage, labeling it, organizing it. That'd be your job. And that's how you got your foot in the door to become an editor. And you would learn the craft of editing in stages like that. But you would start at that one little level. Well, that is the first rung on the ladder. That will be taken over by AI. So there's no rung to that ladder now.
True.
So then what is the first rung to the ladder of getting into that career?
Yeah.
Where you learn how to create and learn how to do that stuff. There is AI is going to be taking out ladders. And I'm just using an example that I know of because I know that career, but that applies across the board to every single career that AI is going to put its foot into. And so we're going to be losing out as people age out of the industries and stuff. We are going to be losing so much capability across the board because we don't have.
But that's gone through civilization, hasn't it?
Do what?
That's gone through since the dawn of time. You know, the old craftsmen that used to be able to chip the bricks, that make dry stone walling and these castles. I mean, you look at the way buildings are right across, not just America and the UK, right across the world.
A blacksmith apprentice, their job was to make nails, and they would make thousands and thousands of nails.
Yeah.
And that's how they learned their craft, and then they could move on.
Yeah. And now that's gone. But like I said, you look at the way buildings are made now, they are not any better. A standard house built today is probably made to last, 60, 70 years?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Where you've got castles in the UK that have been here longer than the USA has been considered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You are going to lose them crafts, unfortunately.
But those castles that you're bragging about those castles, but they don't have central heating and air or plumbing, so
you're
fine if you want to shit in a bucket.
Yeah, but
they've definitely got air conditioning. Half of them are fucking ruins.
Yeah, but that just comes down to building material too.
It is, but what I'm saying is,
build every house out of stone.
The craftsmanship itself. Yeah, you look at the bricklayer of today. That's a job that's going very, very soon. That's going because it's all going to be produced in factories and shipped out, and then they're just going to interlink together.
I was watching a robotic brick or tile layer. They had a robot laying tiles and doing it perfectly, and is like the job of like 10 people was being done by one robot.
And guess what? That robot doesn't have to take lunch breaks. It doesn't have to leave because his kid got sick at school. That thing can sit there 24/7 just fucking running tile.
We're just going to have to go back to the old film that was named after Justin. WALL-E. Right, we're all going to be on by and large ships going into outer space, waiting for life to re-civilize on
even those people, they were.
I think of Dumb and Dumber.
Those people, idiocracy. I was thinking idiocracy, but no, even those people on WALL-E, when they saw what they were and what they could be, the end of the movie is optimistic, where they made the choice that they were going to actually get out of their chairs and actually move and do things.
That's what I mean. That's what will happen. But that's what will happen. Eventually, AI
we're going to have a Butlerian jihad.
Yeah. Wait till your
down
house
with
catches
the
fire.
Machines.
Yeah.
Well, it will get worse.
Say your house catches fire and AI comes and tells you how to put it out.
Well,
and they don't send a fire engine.
Well, it will get worse too with jobs when humanoid robots are perfected and you're putting the AI into those, because then people like Dusty won't even have to lay concrete. They'll have fucking robots out there laying the concrete all day. Like they're, when they can actually physically move and do things, and do jobs that people don't want to do anymore.
Yeah, but when the robot powers down, dock that robot a day pay, napping on the job.
No, we're going to get universal pay. It's just going to be a utopia. Everybody gets universal pay.
It won't, because AI will lead to a war.
I don't know. I mean, we're all kind of just guessing because we really don't know what's going to happen.
Of course we're guessing.
And a lot of people are guessing off of what they saw in movies too. That's all we have to go off of.
Science fiction has always been taking what is on the cutting edge of technology and extrapolating.
Well, and it is somebody that's sitting there thinking hard about a story.
And it still comes down to human nature. This is a genie that every single country has access to. Every single country wants dominance. So there's no country that's going to actually just voluntarily back off from AI and say, you know what, we'll let you guys deal with that.
But there is a problem with AI. AI is online and hackable.
Yes. And that will be our next that will be our next, or part of our next war.
I mean, you look
online will be a battlefront. There will be a digital battlefront.
Yeah, but look what happened today. Yeah. A power cuts wiped out power in Gibraltar, Portugal, Spain, and France.
That's Russia. That's Russia. And guarantee it's Russia, 100%.
No, it's not. I know we know exactly what it is. They've been protesting about holidaymakers, and not enough holidaymakers have turned up. They can't afford the bills.
No, Russia.
But that's
they've tapped before in the sea.
But that's
electric, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I think this is more of a someone doing an update, probably an AI doing an update that's malfunctioned.
No, the scariest thing isn't even AI; it's quantum computing is going to be the scary thing.
In the Philippines, they have many blackouts. Many.
Like quantum computing is going to be whoever gets that first that's going to be the scary thing.
It's Russia.
That's the thing. Is
quantum computers are more or less out there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, when it comes to quantum computing, passwords no longer mean anything anymore, because a quantum computer can take every single probability and do it simultaneously in an instant, where a regular computer can take hundreds of years to try to crack a password.
Yeah.
Getting back to the infrastructure issue, wherever it is, Philippines, Spain, or whatever, 9 times out of 10 is related to lack of maintenance. A lot of places around the world, even here in America, we put infrastructure on the back burner until it starts to fail. And then everybody's saying, whoa, woe's us. How come we're having rolling blackouts? Why we have dirty water? Because we kept delaying maintenance on our infrastructure. And it can't handle the new loads that are coming out. Every place on the planet is getting more compact, more people, everything else, but the infrastructure is still built on 60 to 80-year-old technology, and it can't handle it.
At least the UK have been investing in their infrastructure when it comes to electric, because we had to.
You know, Dre, I always think almost that exact same thing whenever I see one of these old millionaires hook up with these 20-year-old models.
Yeah.
It's like that infrastructure just can't handle it. It's 60, 70-year-old stuff.
It can't handle the new loads of all the, we move forward on.
There's got to be a failure.
Other technology that requires higher amount of power. Population density is growing, and a lot of these cities across the planet are turning to mega cities because people no longer live in the countryside. They all want to go to the cities, and these cities cannot handle the amount of load that is being put on the infrastructure, which everybody puts on the back burner and forgets about it. Like I said, you go to the toilet and flush it, you don't care until it's don't flush. till it starts backing up. Then you want to say, oh, we got a problem. And your power grid works the same way.
Well, and two, being that some of the stuff is extremely out of date, like you're saying, that does leave it vulnerable to hacking as well. Because, I mean, we've had that happen here. Remember when the oil pipeline on the East Coast got shut down? Was it for about a week or two? Because of that hack?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, how is it in today's, 2025, and we got people in Mississippi and still in Flint, Michigan, drinking water that is causing cancer?
Well, it's just, I mean, it's the same point that whether you agree with him or not, because he was 100% correct on it, was when Elon was talking about how out of date some of these government computer systems are, where they're still using Windows from the early 90s or DOS and stuff to run their programs, when it's like it should not be running a system that old. Like, why isn't it up to date to modern standards?
And I say I totally agree in that aspect, but the problem is if you don't do it at the time it needs to be done, and you keep putting it on the back burner, and then when it starts to fail or is old and antiquated, then you're talking about we can't afford to upgrade, can't afford to do this, can't afford to dig up streets to put power lines underground so we don't have wildfires. It gets too cost prohibitive. So what do? We just ride it out till the next wildfire happens.
Or you just keep putting Band-Aids
whatever else happens.
Yeah, you just keep patching it up every time a little bit of it fails. You patch it. And just keep moving on, yeah.
And that's usually how it goes.
I mean,
that's like a video here for Dusty here. I did several years ago.
I was talking about the roads out there where I grew up in California. Like they almost never repave them. It's just constant fucking patching.
Right.
And you drive down the road and it's nothing but lines of patches. And it took, the only time they ever repaved that road, they did it twice, I remember growing up. And that was when they had to there I-40 onto it, and it completely ripped up Route 66. All the trucks did. I mean, there was, within a few hours of them rerouting, there was complete chunks of the road gone, and they had no choice but to come in and repave it.
Yeah.
But
that's how they do it. I said, do the same thing here. We pothole, we call it potholing, patching, whatever. Keep doing it. And I tell people sometimes when you do it so much, it makes the road even worse.
It does. It makes it horrible.
Yeah. And I say sometimes you have to go back, grind it all out, go back to the dirt and repave from scratch. And that road will last you another, but proper maintenance of the road, it should last you another 20 years.
No. What we really need to do, especially in this country, is go back past the dirt, back to the old cobblestone, which is still there underneath. Because when the Romans built a road, there were no fucking potholes and they lasted thousands of years. None of this shit nowadays.
You ever rode on a cobblestone road in a car?
Yes.
Yes.
We do have cobbled roads still here.
Just it's the difference of a newer cobblestone road, which is basically laser balanced and everything else, so it is smooth as an asphalt or concrete road. But you talking about them cobblestone roads in Europe and the UK, dude, it's, like I said, you might well just put your hand down between your legs and hold on to your nuts.
Yeah, it literally is.
Well, there is one I think it's in Orlando. Was it Orlando? No, I think Orlando. They have like a section. It's like a half-mile long or whatever, and it's like an original cobblestone road from back in the day that they've kind of maintained, and they've left it. Oh yeah, you feel it when you drive over it. If you got a fucking open drink or open coffee, you better watch it.
I got this clip here for Dusty if he's still around. I was going to show it to him.
I do have a clip for you guys. But I'll let Trey show his because.
Yeah, and that's a misnomer as well, because they're not cobblestones. Cobblestones are like duck eggs. The sets.
Oh, they look more like those stones you find in rivers, the real smooth, big ones. Kind of like. That's what they look like here.
Let me move it forward here a little bit. There we go.
I mean, we've still got sandstone set roads in various places.
Now the difference, what I'm showing you here, those guys on those skimmers, that would take all day, all night for it to be done by hand. Now you see a machine now, he's gonna make that thing smooth as glass.
Yep.
Truck comes in, pours that stuff out, and that thing just skims it out, smooth as glass. No need to have guys out there on boards with trials smoothing it out.
Right, got a question. What they're building there? Is that flooring for a building or flooring?
Like a warehouse.
That's about a 7,000 square foot warehouse.
Well, let's just hope they don't do anything heavy in there, because a concrete floor should have breaks in it to stop it cracking.
Like
when
I
it
say,
expands, it expands and detracts, that
like
will
I
crack.
say, a lot of time it goes on what the mixture of the mud is. A lot of times you can ask for a certain mixture that gives a lot more we call tensile strength, so it doesn't.
Yep, and you can see.
Now this one here, you see the lines in this one where they finished. Where the finishers came in.
Yeah, you can see expansion lines in there.
Right,
yeah.
But when they first pour it, it's smooth. It is smooth.
Labor jobs can be totally replaced by robots. I mean, they're already, some of them are.
Let's be honest. We all want to have a go on that machine without the freaking concrete.
I mean,
a lot of those expansion joints are just sheets of polystyrene.
Like, the
coating over the top to stop it from getting wet.
Like the wire fencing that farmers and shit put in. They have a machine that does that now. It just goes in a straight line, drops the stake, pulls the fence tight, ties it off, goes to the next post. That used to all be done by hand.
Right. I have a video for you from YouTube. Well, Dominic's not here, but he knows about it. Yeah. And this is why we don't invite Australia to support us in wars. And this is 100% genuinely true.
Because they lost the emu war.
But how? How the did we lose an armed conflict with flightless birds? Well, it all started in
I knew it was going to be about the emu war.
Farmers in Western Australia wanted to grow wheat. There was just one major problem. That's emu territory. And emus really like wheat. And coming in at 6 foot tall and 40 kilos in weight, they can eat a lot of it. So when breeding season came around, the emus migrated through the farmland, and these poor farmers were overwhelmed by a tyrannid swarm of man-sized poultry, 20,000 emus strong. These feathered tanks then proceeded to completely steamroll through the fences into the fields and started laying waste to the wheat. The farmers attempted to fight back the initial wave with rifle fire, but their efforts were, putting it lightly, completely useless. This ginormous L made the farmers pretty bloody angry, so they gathered together and went to the government to ask for help. Sir, 20,000 emus have hit the wheat fields. Fuck me, mate. And so the government declared the emus enemies of the state and sent in the army to commence the Great Emu War. The entire 7th Heavy Artillery Division was deployed to WA, armed with 2 LMGs, 10,000 rounds, and the sole objective to blast anything with feathers. A little bit excessive for an overgrown turkey if you ask me, and upon their first deployment, the army immediately ran into a major problem. Emus are fast.
I am speed.
Really fast, clocking a top speed of 50 kilometers an hour, which meant that once they opened fire, the emus would immediately bolt out of range of their weapons. But they still took a crack at it, and then immediately stopped when both LMGs jammed after only dropping 12 emus. This embarrassment led the army to retreat and rethink their plan. So a few weeks later they returned, this time mounting the LMGs on trucks in an attempt to run the birds down. However, this also didn't work, because after figuring out that those trucks meant they were about to be turned into a KFC family bucket, the emus started leaving scout birds who would warn the flock of the approaching trucks, which gave them all enough time to book it before the army even got there. And whenever they did catch the emus, they found out they were kind of because emus are mostly feathers and there's a lot of places you can hit on them without doing any damage, meaning it was taking around 10 bullets for every one bird. So after a month of blood, sweat, tears and 10,000 rounds of ammunition, the army managed to bring down 960. The population was 20,000. This was an issue as, unlike America, our defense budget is not a bottomless pit. So the army had wasted all that money to achieve absolutely fuck all. So the government just kind of built a really long, really shit fence around the farms and called it a day. How the
Should have just carpet bombed their ass.
Yeah, now if it had been in the US, right, they would have literally saturated the place with bloody missiles and all sorts. But it was Australia.
In the United States, they just like offered out some free hunting permits, and they didn't cause the emu to go extinct.
Yeah, what a you'd have every backwoods country guy coming out of the woods wanting to go hunt.
Hey, hello, East Coast.
Emus wouldn't have nowhere to hide. You gotta be in all kind of lean-tos and hides and everywhere else.
Yeah, that channel as well. He does one about the drop bear for an April Fool's. He goes on about how the bears are evil and can rip your faces off and all sorts.
Yeah, he's the comedian that
he was actually a gamer. He's actually a gamer.
He sounds like that one comedian. I can't think of his name, but he's definitely doesn't have a filter, and he's gotten in trouble a couple times, I think, with the Australian government over his comedy.
Yeah. Well, this guy only does. He did gaming voiceovers, but now he only does things like that voiceovers. Yeah, like the Sydney Spider. They found a new larger one, and they called it the Newcastle Bad Boy or Big Boy. And he goes, "Why the fucking hell would you call it a Newcastle Big Boy?" So,
all right, I gotta jump off. I gotta head back to work here in a few minutes. Catch y'all later.
Don't work too hard now.
See you guys later.
He took Dre with him.
I think Gray was looking for a reason to escape. He's like, I can slip out. When Justin leaves, I can slip out. Nobody will notice.
But we did. We saw it, Dre. We saw it. We know your plan. Sneak out the back door. By the way, did Laura actually send you that picture of me?
Yes.
Darn it.
That's okay. I haven't had any or.
Anytime. That's good. That's good. No time. Time's important.
Any for Will to do any video.
This will make you laugh. Our local council haven't collected our rubbish for fucking 3 weeks now. And it's literally the bin area is absolutely jammed whack full. Right? They sent someone out, and because he opened the door and couldn't get in, yeah, he's decided there's not a problem there and closed the door and fucked off.
I'm back. My tenant's son was here, and he helped me fix the gate on the fence so that Boone can get out.
I just heard Boone say, "Hold my beer."
I was gonna say, did you let Boone watch you make the fixes?
No, he was locked in the house because we had to open the gate to work on it. And last time he got out, Don, he ran.
Catch you later, East Coast.
Blocks.
Have a good one.
He ran for blocks.
Dre said, "Still watching you, Don."
Well, now that I'm back inside, I've got the back door propped open this wide so he can get through. See, he shot right out again. Gonna check things out.
Oh, he's all fun.
Here he's back. And Boone is back.
Yeah. What have you done to that gate, you little shit?
He says, I've been working on that escape route for quite some time. What the hell?
Tell you what, you're getting a good relationship with him.
Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. You know, it just I'm not a high energy kind of person. And
But he's a high energy dog.
Yes. And he is definitely high energy. Oh man.
All of my birds have gone to sleep apart from Bluey.
Really?
Oh no, Bluey's going to sleep as well. You know what that means, don't you? In the next half hour, they're all going to be awake, and it's going to be bloody mayhem in here.
Did they all wank it at each other or what?
No, they've gone to sleep, and then once one wakes up, they all wake up, and then they just go nuts again. Hey, Mark, this is good news for me. Got no council tax. All right. Don't think Mark's there. Yeah, the council deleted my account in error, which means I don't have anything to pay.
Really?
I'm sure they'll correct it eventually and say, "Oi, give me my money." I don't know what Laura's doing.
What's Laura been up to? Has she been playing games or what?
I haven't got a clue. She's in the other room and she's just giggling, so I'm leaving her to it. I've got to fire up the old 3D printer in a minute. You was late on today, Paul.
The what?
You was late on.
Yeah, late on, and then I had to take an hour out to work on the fence because I needed the help.
Yeah. Now, the reason I say you was late on, we came at 2:00 and you weren't there, so it's like, ow.
Yeah, I went to do a ship, and it took forever for the ship to get down to where I could shoot it.
Yeah, I'd rephrase that if I were you. You don't want the ships to get down and then you start shooting them. You got many more today?
No, there's not a lot of ships left out there.
It was the Viking one that got your drone wet, weren't it?
Yeah, it was a Viking cruise ship. It wasn't. It was a Viking cruise ship, and it was raining. But that's not the issue. It wasn't the raining so much as the moisture. I just wasn't sure what it did to the controller.
Yeah. It's all good now, so that's good.
Well, supposedly, but I had an issue today.
Ow.
It didn't want to go sideways again. It's just the one stick. You push it and you go to the right. You push it to the left and it goes to the left. The left worked, but the right didn't.
Might be worth. Can you get them cans of air, sprayer for cleaning keyboards?
Yeah,
and stuff?
I did that. I sprayed that in there and
see if that clears it. And just give it a quick shake and see if there's anything in. Just not a real shake, but just put it near your ear and just give it a gentle shake. If you hear something rattling, that's what it is. Well, Lance has had a lot to say on the subject. Mark has reappeared.
I'm just disappearing now. I've got an appointment to go to.
All right, well, have a good one.
And I'm the only co-host, so Paul will have to sort that out.
Hey, Mark.
Right, well,
Hey, thanks for stopping by, buddy.
Okay,
yeah,
see
catch
you
you in a
later.
bit. Catch you in the evening. And then there was just me, Paul, and Don.
And Boone's laying next to me.
No, we've got a mini heat wave on now.
Really?
Yeah, 22 to 28 degrees this week. Which for this time of year is bloody hot. There's still a lot of moisture in the air. But it means there's chance of thunderstorms, doesn't it? So it's good.
Well, what do you think, David?
I'm happy with you, whatever you want to do.
I'm going to shut her down.
Yep. Catch you
Okay,
later,
everybody.
Donald.
Hey, thanks for being here, David.
Yeah. Catch you all later, guys.